It's Luke back at it again with you for another episode of The Luke Kelly Show. Make sure you tell your friends about this great new show that you're listening to that comes out on Mondays and Wednesdays. And make sure you tell them to follow me on social media too, at Luke Kelly Show. We're moving on to another episode. I know episode number 1 was kind of just like an intro of me telling you all about me. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff, all the random stuff that kind of goes through my head throughout the day. Some stuff, if you follow me on Twitter, you would already know about. But since you don't, you have to find out here on the Luke Kelly Show podcast. And last week, my wife and I were sitting down. It was last Friday, actually. We're sitting down, both of us having a conversation, and it just started to get really late at night. It was like 7:30, and she goes, "Oh, are you going to make dinner?" Yeah, I'm going to make dinner. I'm going to do it. But I kept delaying it. Having a conversation with my wife a lot longer so that way we could get out of making dinner. When I say we, it was my duty to make dinner that night. And I just had no intentions of actually making dinner. I was stalling as much as possible until we ordered takeout. That's what I was doing. That was my plan all along. And guess what? I was successful at it. And I know you probably have done this before. You're like, man, I really don't want to cook tonight. It would be so much better if we just ordered out. That's what you do. You stall. You find ways. You start doing cleaning around the house. You start having intimate time with your partner. So that way, after you're done, you're like, especially after that situation, do you really want to get done doing it and then make dinner? No. What you really want to do is just eat out. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Double meaning in that scenario. But seriously, it was the best thing to do because Fridays, I'm going to make this a thing. Fridays are pizza Fridays. You should never have anything else on Fridays except pizza. When you were a kid, you probably grew up getting pizza every single Friday. That's how it was at my parents' house. I don't know if you remember, but the TGIF lineup on ABC was everything back in the 90s. There is Full House, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Step by Step, Family Matters. There was a whole bunch of great family shows to watch. And my family would either get a local pizzeria. The one that we went to a lot was Sam's. I swear, almost everybody that I know grew up going to a Sam's as well. It's such an iconic Italian restaurant pizza place. And that's what it was for us. A little thin crust pizza cut in squares. Maxon laughing at Danny Tanner as he's cleaning his house. It was fantastic. And it was made even better because we had pizza. Now, Nora and I are super cheap. I told you that on the last episode that I'm really cheap. And for some reason, ordering pizza now has gotten super expensive. The last time that we tried to order a local pizza place, which I would consider a good pizza place, it was going to be over $30-something for a pizza. Yes, we do get a large size pizza because I like to have leftovers. That's just who I am. If you don't have leftover pizza, you're not doing it right. Go back and get the next size up. But I'm like, I can't keep paying $30, nor do I want to pay over $30 for one pizza and maybe some breadsticks or something. I'm not about that life. Just give me the Little Caesars $5 pizza. And yes, I know they went up in price. $5.55 for a pizza now. But the way that Little Caesars is getting you, they're telling you, well, we added 33% more pepperoni. That's how they justified raising the price. All these other places, listen, Little Caesars, you didn't have to do that. Because all these other places, they just keep saying, oh, supply chain issues. Oh, we have to raise workers' rates. That's why we're doing that. You didn't have to say, hey, you could have got away with it. This was the one time that you could have gotten away with not really explaining yourself and raising the price of the pizza. And you know what? You could shit on Little Caesars all you want, but to me, it's the best fast food pizza out there. Even Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, they're all getting expensive. And for what they are, No bueno. Like, I hate Domino's. I know so many people that love it. And a lot of my little nieces and nephews love Domino's. Man, if I see that show up, I'm leaving. I do not want to eat Domino's pizza at all. That garlic that they put on the crust, it's too much. It tastes so fake, tastes so artificial. I don't want any part of it. I would rather eat the Little Caesars. $5.55. You get one pizza, you feed two people. You know what? If you want to splurge, go ahead and splurge. Get yourself the crazy bread combo that comes with the crazy bread and the sauce. And yes, you do got to get the combo because for whatever reason, Little Caesars thinks that you're going to eat the crazy bread without the marinara for dipping. I don't know anyone that would do that. That's some serial killer stuff right there. If you're eating Little Caesars crazy bread without any dipping sauce, that's not cool. We can't be friends because I don't want to become so close to you that you knock me off one day and then it turns into a Netflix documentary. And it all started just because you weren't dipping your crazy bread into a sauce. So cheap, so good. You'll never catch me eating another fast food pizza. Never in my life, unless somebody else pays for it. If you want to invite me over, I'm not going to complain. Will I smirk at the Domino's? Yes, but I'll eat the Domino's. I know I said I would walk out, but in all honesty, I'm not going to be walking out. Food is food, especially free food is free food. When you're eating pizza, you usually sit down and you watch TV when you're eating pizza. That's exactly what Nora and I were doing. We love game shows. Yes, this is another sign that we're getting old. We love to watch game shows. I make fun of myself for doing this, okay? You don't need to make fun of me. I'm already making fun of myself for sitting and loving watching game shows all the time. We watch The Chase. I don't know if you've seen that one. Good show. We watch another one on the Game Show Network. It's hosted by Michael C. Huggins, I believe is his name. Michael C. Huggins. He's like the judge from the acapella movie Pitch Perfect. That's the guy. He's in there. He does the commentary, or he's a judge in there. America Says. That's the name of the show. We watch Wheel of Fortune. We watch Jeopardy. We watch them all. And one day last week, did we have some big old idiots on the Wheel of Fortune. I grew up watching the Wheel of Fortune every single day. We would watch The Simpsons back to back, and then dinner time, which was about 6:30, majority of the time, we would have Wheel of Fortune on. And I became really good at it. Why? Because I picked up on all the clues. RST, LNE, you're getting those. Those are the ones that you want to call all the time. You want to pick up on the category. And let me tell you, this puzzle, it was a phrase, okay? It was a phrase. If you're on the internet at all, you might know what I'm talking about. Here is the letters that are up on the board. I'll actually tell you what's up there right now. It's another feather, a space, blank N, another space, Y-O, blank, R, blank, and there's another word with a blank, an A, and another blank. And we took forever to try and figure out what this was. Who's going to solve the puzzle here? Let's take a listen.
500.
Y.
One Y.
I'll buy a bell.
Okay.
An O.
Two O's.
Good job. Good job. We're starting to build towards something.
I'll solve.
Okay.
Another feather in your hat.
Okay, that was a reasonable guess.
Christopher.
That was a reasonable one. Hat, I get that, but there's already H's up on the board. So it wouldn't be hat.
650.
G.
No G.
Horrible letter choice. What were you doing in that scenario? G. What are you, Gap?
Oh, the bankrupt got you.
Oh,
Another
poor
shot.
guy.
You can spin the wheel or try to solve the puzzle.
I'll solve.
Okay.
Another feather in your lap.
No.
How many times do you put
All
a
of the
feather
feathers
in your
moving
lap?
around.
Never.
Christopher.
You are never putting a feather in your lap unless it falls there when you're at a park.
900.
D.
No. Thomas.
Idiot. You see the board. I told you what letters are up there. No D fits in.
Thomas, I think the wheel got. Laura, you have another opportunity here. You can spin the wheel. You can try to solve the puzzle. What do you want to do? Go ahead and spin if you don't know.
I'm
it.
gonna go ahead and
Yeah,
spin.
don't get buzzed
Oh,
out.
okay. Yeah. Come on. I know you just want, you don't have any money. You're trying to build up, but
Well,
why?
What letter would you like?
A P.
Yes, there's a P.
Why did she ask it like that?
Spin or solve.
I will solve.
Okay.
Another feather in your map.
Oh my gosh.
Christopher. it's your
Map.
turn.
Who in the hell? No one even has a map anymore, first of all. And no one's putting a feather in their map and
Oh my
calling it
goodness.
macaroni.
The bankrupt got you. Thomas, you have no
Poor
money.
guy.
I don't know. You going to spin? You gonna try
I'll
to solve?
spin.
Running into bankrupts all over the place. How is this
So
possible?
what letter would you like?
A C.
Is there a C up there anywhere? There you go. You want to solve this?
Yeah, I'll solve. Another feather in your cap.
Yeah, there you go.
Woo!
Well, you had $500.
Whoa,
making
whoa,
1,000.
whoa.
That's our
Thank you,
minimum
thank
amount.
you,
have
thank you.
7,000.
I mean, Pat Sajak, you were an absolute gem for being that cordial with everybody. I would have been making fun of everyone if I was hosting that show. How does that happen? I felt like it was the most basic puzzle out there, especially when you had all those letters up on the board. You flub? That bad? That should go in the Wheel of Fortune Hall of Fame. Things not to do. The most embarrassing contestants ever. They should Wall of Shame in the Wheel of Fortune Hall of Fame. That's where all these people need to go. I felt bad for the one dude who, for whatever reason, kept landing on lose a turn or go bankrupt. What a horrible round. And you could kind of see, I don't know if you watched this clip yet, or if you watched the show live, you could kind of see that the guy was upset that kept getting the bankrupts because you could tell that he actually had an idea of what the puzzle was. He knew that it was another feather in your cap, not map, not cap. Dr. Seuss would be really upset. Yankee Doodle would be really upset. I mean, come on. And I know a lot of people don't like Pat Sajak because he is kind of rude to the contestants. But I feel like if you're hosting that show for as long as Pat Sajak has, and all the things that you have seen throughout your career, like you've seen it play out, you see all these people say dumb stuff over and over again every single episode. And when they film these shows, they record like a week worth of shows at one time. So you got to understand that he's probably on his last legs sometimes when he's recording these TV shows. But how he didn't make fun of them and troll them, I don't know. He's a lot better than I am. I love you, Pat Sajak. By the way, Vanna White, she might have been, besides Miss Elizabeth from the WWF, WWE, Macho Man Randy Savage's wife, she might have been my first or second love, Vanna White. Still do love her. You know, I also wanted that job as a kid. To be the one, not Pat Sajak, but to be the one to hit the letters so that way they appear on that board. I thought that would have been an awesome job. But here I am just hosting a podcast and working at Verizon. Maybe at some point when Vanna finally retires, they're going to switch the roles around and there's going to be a female host and then there could be a male letter tapper. That could be me. I'm great at tapping it. It would totally make sense. And I feel so old talking about the Wheel of Fortune on this podcast because, you know, I'm 31. I don't feel like that's too old. But I do feel like I'm at that point now where I'm starting to see stuff and be like, I am becoming old. I'm getting made fun of by the younger generation. when I was in high school and college, I was making fun of 30-year-olds all the time. Why? Because they were kind of at that point where they were getting out of touch on stuff. And now you can totally see it on TikToks. I made this observation one day this week because my For You page is basically a whole bunch of couples on TikTok. And now when I was in high school, late high school, college, you would see all your friends making fun of other people, mom and dads usually, about having joint Facebook accounts. I tweeted this on March 4th. So what was this day? Last Friday, early in the morning. Millennials in the 2010s. Look at these old-ass people with joint Facebook accounts. Millennials in 2022, joint TikTok accounts. It's all over my For You page. And yes, like I said, that's just me getting old, and they're trying to find the algorithm that's right for me. Couples TikTok, it's a thing. But I just hate how you have the @ and it's Corey and Tabitha. Whoever the couple is, they put it together. Brandy and Billy, that's one that pops up for me all the time. And I'm like, man, I'm old. I'm getting to that point. We're becoming a laughingstock. What we once used to laugh at, if you're a millennial, you're like me, we used to laugh at the older generation having joint Facebook accounts. Now here we are, running out on TikTok, posting all over the place of these dumb videos of you and your spouse. And some of them are unbearable. One of the main reasons why they're unbearable, once again, just a sign of me getting really old. They prank each other. And when they prank each other, it's just not like an easy-going prank. It's something that makes a ton of mess. I mean, a ton of mess. I cringe when I see it. All I can think about when I see it, like there's this one couple that they'll do a prank where they put water above a door. And then all of a sudden, when they open that door, the water falls on them. And then they get one of those confetti cannons and pop it open. All I can think about in that scenario is now you have to clean up all that water. And you have to mop up the water. You got to sweep all that confetti up. You got to do all of that. That ain't cool. You're only creating yourself more to do around the house instead of just easily just trying to do something that's semi-funny on TikTok. Now you're creating more work for yourself, your spouse, and it's going to lead into an argument. Someone's going to be sleeping out on the couch. Who's it going to be in that scenario? Probably going to be the male in that situation. But man, TikTok is just so crazy. I love it, but that's the part that I just laugh at. I try and scroll past these accounts all the time, these shared accounts, because I don't want it to be in my face. I really don't. I want to find different things. Another TikTok that I'm on is introvert TikTok, because deep down inside, I am an introvert. You might not know that because I've been on radio and you think that my job is to be very entertaining, right? But man, once you turn off a microphone and I get in my house or I get out in public, I am telling you, I don't want to talk most of the time. I just want to hang out. And if we could get out of that party early, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I remember there was a point in Nora and I's relationship where she always wanted to go out, have a good time and everything. And we would go out, but we would quickly return home because I would be so exhausted from trying to be social whenever we would go out. And we would come back home and I would take off my pants, walk around naked for a second. And then I would put on some sweats or something like that. And I'd be like, oh man, so exhausted. I can't wait to go to bed. Too much peopling for the day. And there's a whole TikTok on that of being an introvert. There's just something about getting home, not having to deal with people, or being at a party, not thinking about when you have to, or like when you can leave, when it is acceptable to leave. What I try to do when I'm in those social settings is I try to look for an opportunity when someone else comes to the party and the host goes and entertains that person for a while, that's usually my key. Like, hey, man, we can sneak out. There's a new group of people that just came here, so we'll be good. We could go now. We had a drink. We said hi to everyone, and let's quickly just say bye. And then when the host asks, oh, where did you go the next day? All you have to say, oh, man, you got really busy, and I didn't want to stop, like, you having a good time, but, we were just tired, a long day at work, and we wanted to get home. That's all you have to do. And they'll be like, okay, totally understand. And then when you get home, you go to sleep, and then the next day you wake up, and you go, man, what am I going to do? What am I going to do today? I'm so exhausted from interacting with people for so long. What am I going to do? I need a day at home. Nora and I did this on Saturday. We had a home day. The only thing that we did out in public, we went and did our grocery shopping. But then when we came home, Nora did her reading. I was watching old WWE stuff on Peacock. And then it got to be Saturday night. We're like, what are we going to do all night? We're not just going to sit here and read and watch old WWE stuff on Peacock. We've got to find something else. Let's do something we haven't really done before. And I was like, you know what? Let's watch some stand-up comedy. She was like, yeah, that sounds really fun. So we actually watched Taylor Tomlinson, who I think is very funny. That was the first stand-up that we watched. And then I said, you know what? After that, I had a good time watching. Let's keep on watching stand-up comedy. So let's watch Bert Kreischer. To me, I think he's absolutely hilarious. If you don't listen to his podcast that he does, he also does another one. I mean, he does a couple of things. So he does that. He does Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And I just always find him funny. He's very, very likable. He laughs at his own jokes, but that's okay. That's okay to laugh at your own jokes. When you're that funny, I think it's acceptable to laugh at your own jokes because there's no one else that is going to be a bigger supporter of you than you. You laugh, people are going to laugh. They're going to be like, yeah, that's pretty true. Catch on, it's easy. But I tell you what, I have never laughed so hard at watching stand-up comedy in my life. It got to the point where I was laughing so hard that I almost threw up because I could not catch my breath. And this I found on YouTube, and I'm going to use the audio clip, but it's Bert Kreischer talking about his youngest daughter getting her period.
I'm at home, phone rings, it's a school nurse. She goes, I have Isla in the office. Is there a parent at home? I was like, I'll do. Gives the phone to Isla, her first words, I tried to stop it, Dad. I go, stop what? She goes, I got my period. I'm like, bitch, you promised. I'm like, you called the wrong number, dickhead, call your mom.
Be more
She's
helpful.
Like, Dad, I need you right now. Immediately as a parent, I'm melting down. So I'm like, she's freaking out at school. She's by herself. She's going through what Georgia went through. This isn't my skill set. But I got this. I go, okay, baby. All right. Okay. How'd you get it? She was like, Dad, I was playing kickball. Immediately, I'm like, oh, poor kid probably thought she blew out her pussy.
This is where I almost threw up from laughing so hard.
Oh, shit. Oh, I'm out, coach. I'm out. Yeah. I tore my twat. It's bad. I blew out my cooch, coach. I'm going to have to sit this one out. Pinch runner, pinch runner. Now I'm spiraling. I'm like, all right, what do you need from me? New pants, new panties, new socks? Did it get in your socks? A bucket, some towels, garlic. We're going to keep the vampires away from you. She's like, Dad, I'm fine. Mom gave me a go bag. I go, okay, then what are you calling me for? She goes, I need you to go to the store and get supplies. I'm like, how bad is this period? She's like, no, Dad, I'm throwing myself a period party tonight.
Didn't know those were a thing.
I'm like, I'm sorry, what did you just say? She's like, all the girls are doing it, Dad. I need you to go to the store and get supplies. Get a red velvet cake. I'm like,
That is pretty damn gross.
I
would
go,
have
baby,
puked.
I don't think I can eat a red velvet cake. Knowing what it symbolizes. She's like, Dad, you need a red velvet cake for a period party because you put the name of your period on the cake. I'm like, who names their period?
It's kind of like a hurricane
She's
almost.
like, Georgia named hers after the girl from Progressive Auto Insurance. She's like, Dad, please, I need you right now. I have 10 people coming tonight. I go, we have 10 little girls coming to the house? She goes, no, 8 girls, 2 boys. I'm like, who invites boys to a period party? And I hear her sinister little giggle on the phone, and she goes, Dad, that's the fun of it. We don't tell them why they're there.
That is so cruel.
Now I'm like, fuck it, I'm in. I have never had more fun at a party in my entire life. Planning, hosting, and attending a period party. I dressed all in red like it was Chinese New Year's. Drinking Pinot Noir. I made pasta with chunky marinara sauce. And I giggled the whole night with all these little girls at these 2 boys, Max and Carter, right? Faces covered in red cake. Like it's their honeymoon, and they're like, fuck it, I'll eat it anyway. The whole party, these 2 boys are looking at the cake going, who the hell's Jason? My daughter, Isla Kreischer, named her period Jason because she got it on Friday the 13th.
That is just, that's incredible. If that really happened, and if Isla Kreischer really named her period Jason because it came on Friday the 13th, I mean, kudos to that little girl. She does have a messed up brain. Now, she is the daughter of Bert Kreischer, so I would really understand that. I totally would. But, man, we ended up watching 3 different stand-up specials on Netflix, and that was just a little clip. That one, I believe, was from the Machine special that's on Netflix. It's an older one. I think it's from, like, 2016. But the 3 that we watched, and we went in back order here because we went Hey Big Boy, Secret Time, and The Machine. Watch all of his stand-up stuff. If you love comedy, you need a good laugh, you are going to either want to throw up from laughing so hard, poop yourself from laughing so hard, or pissing yourself from laughing so hard. Looking for a simple night in? That's the recipe right there. You're going to have a great night because I know Nora and I did. That was a win. You know what else was a win? This episode of this podcast. It was great. I had a fun time recording this episode. This is something that you can kind of expect going forward, having some audio, having a little fun, good laughs. That's what I want to do twice a week here on the Luke Kelly Show podcast. Mondays, Wednesdays, 20 to 30 minutes. We're about at the 30-minute mark now. So I'll talk to you next week here on the Luke Kelly Show.